My first name is Misty. My last name is Bias, Mistybias. I've lived in Chico for, oh gosh, I was born in Paradise, and then I lived in Chico off and on my whole life. I'm 38.
So you haven't been on a vacation how long?
It's been probably about a decade. I help with CAL FIRE lunches in the summer, so it's hard for me to get away. It's been a really slow fire season, so it's been about a decade since we've taken an actual vacation.
So this is the first time in over a decade you're going on a vacation and you're thinking what?
I'm thinking, like, oh, we're going to have a good time. I planned it for my 14 and 15, or sorry, I messed that up. I planned it for my 13 and 15-year-old. I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be a resort. It was suggested by a lot of parents, so I'm not thinking it's going to be something super dangerous or anything. I'm hesitant to go into large crowds as it is. So I decided, okay, I'm going to take my kids on vacation. We're going to have a good time. There's not going to be anything wrong. We're like at a resort, so we don't really have to leave like into dangerous areas or anything like that.
You were prepared to have a good time.
Yeah, we were prepared to have a really good time with my kids.
And safe to say it wasn't a good time.
It was not a good time, no. Like the first 24 hours, we had a great time, and then we woke up to just chaos.
Take me through those events. You're where at this time?
So we show up at KRCR Resort on Sunday. We have a blast. We go to sleep, and then we wake up in our room. I wake up first, and I can hear something over the loudspeaker, and I can't really tell what's going on, though. You can't hear anything in your room or on the floor. You just know that they're saying, I think everybody's kind of rushing to their room. You can hear everybody running down the hallways, and I'm like, what is going on? I get up and I open our window. We're on the 7th floor at poolside, and it's kind of to where you can't see where the valet area is where it happened, but you can see people just dispersing into the next parking lot over, and everybody just kind of starts disappearing, and you hear doors slamming shut. And I'm just like, as we look out the window, we realize that every exit's being blocked by police, and you see ambulances coming in and police everywhere. So my kids are sleeping at this point, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I finally wake up my kids, and I tell my 15-year-old son, something's going on. I can't go down there. We're already procrastinating. We were supposed to be down in that valet area, headed to our car. It's in our direct area of where we were supposed to be. I was just feeling really off, procrastinating. I didn't go down there. 10 minutes later, the shooting happened, and my son got on Snapchat, and it happened to be one of his friends at the resort as well. And he's like, Mom, there's an active shooter here. And I'm like, you got it. You think no way is this happening. And so we only knew.
You couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I'm just like, there's no way there's someone, shooting. So you think oh, maybe it's something minor, because you hear about a lot of stuff, but it ends quickly. So we stay in our room. We're kind of waiting. We're just looking at all the police. We're calling the front desk, trying to figure out what's going on. We waited a little while, and then as soon as we got into the hallway, everybody's talking about oh, people have, been shot. And you're just like, what the heck? So we kind of stayed in our room a little bit longer, not really sure when to go down. When we go down, we realized that they have the parking lot where our car is, because originally I was headed down to get my son's medication and our inhalers, because I had forgot it in the car the night before. So we're headed down to get the medication. We realized that where we're parked, parking lot 3 is just crime scenes, so we're like, we can't take our car, and they're like, it could be multiple days before you're able to leave. So we're just realizing now, not only has the shooting happened, but we're stuck at the hotel because they're confiscating our car until they're ready to release it, because it's part of the crime scene. So then we were stuck at the hotel. We kind of hid in our rooms most of the day. You start feeling really skeptical of people, and you're not sure, you think, what if there's someone else that was part of this plan or whatnot? And then we're stuck at the hotel trying to come back to California. We originally had plans to stay as long as we did, but once the shooting happened, we didn't want to be there. We wanted to go home, which we couldn't. So I kept asking my kids, what do you want to do today? Because we have all these plans, and then it just kind of, you feel weird. And my kids are like, let's just get some ice cream and go back to the hotel room. Let's go back to the room. And you can tell that they're being affected, because until 4 p.m. we're pretty much hid in the room. And then we just kind of started going out, and everybody's asking, are you okay? There's new people showing up, and trying to figure out who was here during the situation. And it's just, you can feel the grief in the air. Everybody's kind of scared, not really sure what to do.
What kind of emotions are going through your head at this time? You're there on vacation with your children. You haven't had a vacation in years. You're expecting to have a good time with your kids. What kind of emotions?
I want to, at first it felt really surreal. You're just okay, I understand this happened, but it just felt like you're kind of in a dream. Okay, this isn't happening. It didn't feel like it. By noon, we started hearing there was people that didn't make it. And so by noon, I'm I'm in tears, because I'm just thinking about that could have been us. And everybody, around you is thinking that could have been us, and everybody's kind of checking on each other, but it just didn't hit us till noon. By 4 p.m., I'm having severe anxiety. I want to go home. But it just was like a roller coaster of emotions, and still felt surreal until I got home, and now I'm just like, it's hard to think about, like, once you learn more about like who it was, like, is it I don't know, I guess is it just everybody finds out all the information. It's just a lot of anxiety. Like kids, I can feel that they're not like as happy and cheerful, and it's hard to have a good time after that.
Are you nervous to go places right now?
I'm super nervous to go places. Like I said, when I was a kid, I was abducted, and so I have to build myself up to go into larger areas as it is. So I also like cancel large events on all my friends. I try to go. I went to the grocery store yesterday. To Target actually, and there was the overhang area. Well, someone started their motorcycle, and my heart just dropped. Like I get shaky and just trying to go everywhere. I live on the outskirts of Chico, so I feel more comfortable at home. When I come into town, it's harder.
If there's anything that you'd want people to take away from this, I mean, obviously it's summer. I mean, going forward, I mean, how less likely are you to go places? How less likely are you to attend events right now? Like, just
with everything that's going on in the world, I'm less likely to attend anything big right now. It's really hard for me to want to take my kids anywhere, and especially since I have multiple kids. I've got 4 kids. You think about, like, how are you going to protect them all? You've one person. Like, how are you going to get them all safe if something happens? But I just feel like it's hard to want to go to anything big because you just don't know what's going to happen. You pick like somewhere that you think is going to be the funnest, biggest spot for kids where there's everything to do, and you think about it because in that resort, all you have to do is go downstairs into the basement. There's this massive arcade where all these kids are. They can't escape. There's just different areas where you can be cornered in this hotel. And from looking upon Google, we found out that there was multiple shootings at this hotel since 2021. So it's just, I guess if I knew more about it, I wouldn't have gone. But it was just kind of that thing where you don't go on many vacations, you ask for suggestions, and this was suggested by a bunch of moms. So you felt like, okay, everybody's taking their kids there. This is somewhere safe. I'm just thankful that we weren't down there, but you think about all the people that were affected in more ways than us, and it's hard. It's hard to think like that a lot of people didn't get to go home with their family. Like, you think, how can someone come and do this to you? Or when you're planning your vacation, you don't think someone's planning to come get you, or planning something so negative while you're planning something so positive.